Up here in Sussex County, New Jersey, over 1 foot of snow. Rain and snow mix along the coast, but as low pressure moves away, rain and snow changes to snow. Also, the good news is this storm is about as strong as it's going to be. And with it moving away from us, the effects will be less, but less than blizzard. So it's still going to be snowing here tomorrow. Snowing in Philadelphia, snowing in Wilmington, several inches of snow on the ground for you in the morning. A real slushy mess for that morning rush hour on the Schuylkill Expressway in Philadelphia. Snowing up here on the Taconic, snowing in the Mass Pike, and just about into Boston. Well, in Boston, it's that rain and snow mix. And in interior sections, just plain old snow and wind. With low pressure moving off, this precipitation shield will move to the east. Then it'll just be windy in behind it. Where it's precipitating, temperatures will be held in the 30s. With a little bit of sunshine, we'll eke up into the low 40s, but that's just about it. 42 degrees for you in New York City. So a rough time in the morning, and weather conditions in New York City will be improving as the day wears on. Here's a look at our current surface map. The low pressure here, the cold high pressure in behind it, and the cold front sweeping all the way south through the Florida Keys, and with winds lightening up and under clear
Including special alloy in the steering wheel to reduce vibration. So the only thing you feel is good. The new Camry. Quieter, smoother, better than ever.
This time of year, I need more than an ordinary eye drop. I need Ocuhist.
Ocuhist Eye Allergy Relief. It's anti-itching. It's anti-redness. It's antihistamine relief for your eyes. The antihistamine formula that gives you eye allergy relief fast. Clinically proven faster than the leading antihistamine pill.
My eyes feel great.
Ocuhist Eye Allergy Relief. The anti-itching, anti-redness, antihistamine eye drop from Visine.
Weather. Every day it moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want, every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel. WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
Ahead on WeatherScope, the Northeast gets hit by a massive spring storm. What effect will this have on your morning commute? The latest outlook coming up on WeatherScope after your local forecast.
This is a special edition of WeatherScope.
Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Christina Abernathy. We're watching a major storm in the northeastern U.S. It's centered just off the northeast coast, providing rain, a lot of snow, and some very strong winds to folks in the northeastern U.S. and up and down the east coast. Snow is already falling in the Boston area. Residents could see as much as 12 inches of the white stuff. Temperatures are right around freezing at a cold 33 degrees, but the wind is making it feel much colder as winds there are gusting at 45 miles per hour. And just a little to the north of Boston in Andover, Massachusetts, we're joined now by the Weather Channel's Rick Griffin. And Rick, looks like still windy and very snowy there, but I noticed folks are still out on the roadways. How are the conditions?
Conditions are not too bad, Christina. I am standing fairly close to Interstate 93, which is one of the main highways north of Boston. Kind of goes up into southern New Hampshire and covers the Nashua, Lowell, and Boston areas, and it's a heavily traveled highway. As I've been seeing all through the evening and nighttime hours, traffic is slow but steady. The roadway is snow-covered and a bit slushy. That is what I hear about roadways all over the Boston metropolitan area, that they're snow-covered, a little bit slushy. Traffic is slow but steady. There have been a few spin-outs, but no major accidents. The heavy wet snow has apparently brought down some power lines onto some roadways, like on Route 2 and Route 3, and some tree limbs have fallen because of the weight of the heavy wet snow. That is slowing down traffic a bit. But overall, from what I can see here on Interstate 93, things are flowing along pretty well considering what is going on. Well, a couple days ago, yesterday actually, when we arrived, a lot of folks were talking about this. Is this snowstorm really coming, or is it just kind of an April Fool's type joke? But it is here. It's reality. Things are much different than they were yesterday when it was a very nice taste of spring on Easter Sunday. The snow continues. It will be very heavy at times tonight. Power outages are possible. Of course, tree limb and power line damage will continue to occur in some areas. We've already seen that happen. And traffic may be conditions may be very rough for rush hour in the morning here in the Boston metro area. And we'll be here live to cover it for you. Meanwhile, back to the studio to you, Christina.
Thanks a lot, Rick, for that report. Let's take a look at the snow that's fallen already, some pretty significant amounts even at this hour, and it's just going to continue to come down. You can see some of the heavier amounts here through parts of New York where over a foot of snow has fallen, and again, it does not show any signs of letting up in this area either. On our satellite view, you can see pretty clearly this well-defined area of low pressure, the moisture wrapping around the low, as well as the cold air coming on in too. So we've got snow quite far to the south around the Baltimore and D.C. areas reporting snow. So again, it's not just the northeastern U.S., but even further southward where we have some wintry conditions, and this low just sort of sitting and spinning here off the northeast coast in that general area, moving ever so slowly away. We have some rather windy conditions here too. Notice how tightly these isobars are packed in, or the lines of equal pressure. Tight pressure gradient, and again, very windy conditions. Winds gusting throughout the region, 30, 40, 50 miles per hour. And the snow continues to come down, so we've got sort of a double situation going on here with the heavy wet snow, the very windy conditions. As Rick mentioned, power lines and trees down will be a common occurrence as we head into tonight and to tomorrow, and the snow will continue, especially here in the northeast, well into tomorrow, as the low will continue to just sort of sit and spin here off the northeast coast, again only moving away very slowly. On the radar picture, what we see is plenty of snow falling. The rain-snow line somewhere in that general vicinity. So all of this that you're seeing is falling as snow from Hartford to around New York, where LaGuardia reporting snow now. Philadelphia getting snow too. Well, that's how it stands right now with our nor'easter. We'll continue to keep you updated this evening, but we also have some interesting weather in the western half of the country. For that, we go back to the studio with Dave Schwartz.
Thank you, Christina. Just off the wire, I've got some new snowfall totals in the Northeast for you. In western Massachusetts, Worthington, Massachusetts now has 14 inches of snow on the ground. And in the Philadelphia area, 8 inches of snow reported in Kennett Square and in Southampton. And of course, we're not done with this storm yet. Of course, that's not the only storm in the United States.
LaGuardia, and Philadelphia all reporting delays. So if you have flights out tonight or tomorrow morning, best check with the airline.